Thank you very much, Saikat. Thank you all for the invitation. Thank you, Jan, for making possible to have this Metaverse Cup, which I think is really uh, a fantastic new tool to use more and more to connect over the world in a very fun way. I do apologize with all the stuff because I've been like very much a boomer joining the platform and moving around it, but it's really fun and interesting. And so really, thank you very much. I am in Brasilia right now. Tomorrow there will be the first day of the pre-COP 30, and we, as Italian government, together with the UNDP, are here also to have the annual flagship event of the Youth Climate Initiative, which I think many of you know. This is my badge of the event, and I think it's a very useful initiative for young people. I invite you really to check it out. It's through the UNDP website. You search for Youth for Climate. Every year in February, we launch a call for proposal, and we fund every year 50 projects from all around the world with $30,000 each. So the event today will start today, and then along the pre-COP, we will announce the 50 awardees of this year. So having said that, about the Youth for Climate Initiative and going to COP, well, I think this one in Belen will be my 11th COP. I've been to 10 COPs so far. And so the very first thing I would like to tell to everyone that will never be to a COP or just attend one or two, wait at least 3, 4 cups to begin to feel a bit comfortable on how to move around rooms and navigate through different agendas, because there is no, because the easiest question is like to ask every day, so what's the agenda for today? And the reply from us is which one? Because you have in a COP, you have events going on in every national or thematic pavilions. You have UNFCCC pavilions, side events agenda. You have, I don't know, the capacity building hub events agenda. And then you have, of course, the agenda for the negotiation and the ministerials and everything. So it's really complicated. So for the first COP, I wouldn't expect anyone to really understand anything or even how to move around. Also because year after year, the COP has become bigger and bigger. So even to really move around physically is a challenge. And we all know that this year will be a particular challenge as well, because Belém is quite remote to reach. And then actually, to be honest, we got the information this morning that the Italian delegation has got the rooms, because until yesterday, we didn't have an accommodation yet. So it is very challenging this year. But anyway, going back to the content of a COP, I think there is much that you can easily join also in a very concrete way. Of course, it depends on how much interested you are in the negotiation itself. But I would say that is not really the only way to get engaged and to really interact with the process, because the negotiation, even if, of course, most of the documents are public, it's done very much also along the year in closed door meetings to advance the negotiation and the discussion among parties. So it is really more difficult, I think, to really get engaged in it, unless you have the chance to liaise with your national delegation, to be youth delegate for your delegation or something like that. But really to approach the process, the UNFCCC process, willing to to contribute and to have an active role, I would say that nowadays, well, the negotiation agenda item more, let's say, approachable and related also to youth engagement is, I think, as everybody of you know already, ACE, Action for Climate Empowerment, which is the agenda item dealing with raising awareness, international cooperation, access to information, and public participation. So starting with that, there is much to be done, also because not this year, but this year we'll start the conversation. Next year, parties will be called to discuss the review, the midterm review of the Glasgow Work Programme. This will mean that parties will be called to define a new ACE action plan, so with concrete actions to advance the ACE agenda. And I would say that this is an agenda item where it's more possible compared to other for young people to really have a role and take part in the discussion. First, because well, observers are allowed to join the conversation, and well, actually, even there are lots of parties that because of constraints in their delegations, they allow young people to represent them in the ACE discussion. So it's easier if you approach your national government and give your availability on to follow the ACE process. I think it's quite possible to have a chance. And another thing that I would really encourage everyone to learn about more is the action agenda, in particular this year, because COP30, the COP30 presidency, the Brazilian presidency, provide a completely new setting, a restructuring of the global action agenda to make it more effective and to link it with the GST, the global stock take. So the action agenda basically draws on private sector and local governments and international initiatives to advance the implementation of the Paris Agreement. And so there can be different entry points. For example, also Youth for Climate is an official listed initiative under the action agenda. So getting in touch or interested or interacting with one of the initiatives, there are like many. I can send you the link also to the official document listing all the initiatives sector by sector, because there are initiatives related to energy transition, even just transition, different. So starting from there, liaising with the initiatives, there can be another, let's say, entry point to the overall process of the UNFCCC. And it's really a lot about your interests. One thing, actually, one mistake I also did at the very beginning when I started to following the UNFCCC process was to try to follow everything. I was like, because I was assigned in my delegation to work on capacity building and ACE, but I wanted to be on the top of everything. So I was trying to read all the documents, also about finance, about adaptation, about education, transparency. But it's really too much, I think, for everyone. So it's good to read all the summaries and have a sense of the general direction of the negotiation in the different rooms. But I think choosing one topic and digging deep in it would be more beneficial. Also because the process nowadays is really very much a lot about having in mind what happened in the past years and knowing the people, knowing the parties that are more active in that on that topic. Starting from a specific topic, it makes it easier to understand in the end the overall process. And well, of course, if anyone has any question, I would be happy to respond now. Or, of course, I'm telling Saikat if uh, if you want to share my email address, no problem. I'm a ACE negotiator, so also on behalf of the EU. So everything that you would like to know about the ongoing ACE negotiation, I would be glad to respond. I know that is online already the annual ACE report prepared by the Secretariat, which is also like useful to understand better what is ACE and what is happening. So what happened this last year on ACE, and what else? Again, don't be like scared on how big and complicated the COP is. I think they also for COP30 launched a web platform. This Madoka platform is the name to keep to follow, to be able to follow the events and negotiations also online. I didn't try to join it yet myself, but I hope it will be not too far, not too difficult to navigate. I don't know. I see Siam with the raised hand. If you have a question to me, please, or and also Shalom. Yes. Well, I think it's up to everyone to really choose the thematic that feels more useful to follow. The one
Hello, guys. There are a little bit.
Yes. Hello? Yes. I don't know if there was someone else with a question, but otherwise, no, just quickly. Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Roberta. You made very insightful advice, and I also concur with the idea that we shouldn't follow everything. And I do understand also the perspective of SciCat, and adding to that, I believe also it's because sometimes the places where we find opportunities are not also very aligned with the our current pursuit or our current thematic area. So we kind of spread our opportunities such that if this thematic area tries to bring more opportunities for us, we're able to get in just so that our voices can be heard. And just to highlight more on the voices to be heard, I run an organization, and it's focused on promoting education, climate action, and basically the mission of ACE. So my question now is, how can organizations that have not directly registered with the UNFCCC still access opportunities from ACE? And do we have to have certain requirements? I know you mentioned Youth for Climate. While we are trying to get in contact with them, we also applied for their programs, but unfortunately we're not selected. I think it's we're also trying to create that partnership with Youth for Climate. But regardless of that, can we directly connect with ACE? That's my question.
Thank you very much. Like a very good question, because yes, indeed, through the initiatives like Youth for Climate can be a way. By the way, if you applied for a project proposal and didn't win, try again, because sometimes it's just a matter of the fact that there are many projects, but we had already in the past projects that didn't make it the first year and were funded the next year. So just to invite you to keep on trying. And as a non-registered, so as an organization which is not registered as an observer organization, I would suggest first to check again with the Secretariat how to become a registered observer organization, because I know that they so because the process to register it has always been very difficult and long. It was taking like 1 year and a half, the process to be recognized as a registered organization. So I know that recently they made an effort to make the process easier. And sorry, because I can hear myself. I don't know if it is disturbing for you. Like this. And for example, so if not directly through ACE, I would suggest as well capacity building, because and this again is a thing that we could try to replicate. Actually, I would try to replicate in the negotiation of ACE. In the space of in the capacity building negotiation room. Maybe you know already about the PCCB, the Paris Committee on Capacity Building, which is an institutional arrangement serving the Paris Agreement and the Convention. And within it, it was established this PCCB network. So basically, the Paris Committee on Capacity Building established a network of organizations, and the registration is free. You can go on the UNFCCC website where there is the PCCB, or you can start from Google. You put PCCB network, you will find the page, and to join the network, an organization has only to fill a form. It's free, and it doesn't require a specific condition except for being related or working in the space of capacity building. And this it's already a way to get into in the loop, and participate in the regular calls of the network. And then also the network has in-person meetings in COPs. And I think so being in the network can make it easier to get a badge, maybe joining events as a speaker. So I would say like starting from full scratch, not knowing like anyone in the process or not having a status of observer. There is so this comes first to at least join the process, let's say from outside with the PCCB network. And as I said, in the ACE negotiation, in the ACE discussion next year, we will have to discuss the new action plan.
Okay.
And this, for example, could be an issue, could be a topic to discuss, and could be an activity to include in the action plan. So how to really open the process, open the discussion to non-registered organization, because it's all about so inclusivity. And we always say that to implement the Paris Agreement, we will have to get everyone on board, the civil society, everyone. So, of course, not only registered observer organizations. So, if you have the chance to contact your government, to send, for example, also to send submissions to the Secretariat in order to make sure that the discussion will take place on how to open more the participation of organization, or make it easier the registration process as an observer. So this is what I would suggest to do, and to write to the Secretariat. There are the different, so not always maybe you will get an answer, but I think it's worth trying. There are, for example, the Secretariat is running several initiatives. There is one that in my opinion, sometimes are not even that much advertised. I don't know if you know, for example, that already since 2018, the Secretariat launched one big initiative on sustainable fashion and one on sport. There is a framework for sustainable sport, which was launched and is run by the Secretariat, and they are targeting, let's say, sports organization and companies, but there could always be the chance to reach out, to maybe volunteer as facilitators, to get them to more sport or fashion companies to get involved. So I would say I would try everything. Like there is not only one procedure, bureaucratic procedure, but there can be some entry points. Then, of course, it depends on the organization, but again, that you represent, and according to the main focus of it, you can find where better find your entry point. But I think, for example, also in the action agenda, one pillar, there is one pillar of the action agenda related to education. So through education initiatives, I think there could be the chance to really enter more into the process, also into the ACE negotiation room.
Thank you so much. I just want to second, just one follow-up, just one. So you mentioned a lot about the capacity building, and I was wondering if without being registered, can ACE still provide some sort of capacity building opportunities for organizations, or are they open to collaborations, or I have to get registered to be able to access all of this? Because I'm very interested in collaborating with the organization, and I can also reach out if it is okay to reach out to you to talk more about what I do and share those kind of information with you. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. So we'll be Sorry, sorry. It's a problem of my laptop, which I cannot fix, but it's moving a bit. Now, now you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And so about capacity building, again, if you go to the PCCB webpage, you can find the email address. But again, I will be happy also so to help you on this. And oh, there was something else I was thinking of, and I just forgot. The action, yeah, yeah. Mm.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I now remember also what I wanted to mention as well. There is a program within the UNFCCC, which is called Youth for Capacity, which is a capacity building program for young people run by the Secretariat and actually funded by Italy. And I am personally not super happy on how they are running it because they could do more. I think we are funding the program with lots of money, but again, if you go on the website and find the Youth for Capacity program of the UNFCCC, there should be also contact details of people of the Secretariat to reach out to ask questions and also public events, online events, capacity building events related to the UNFCCC process that everyone could join because the program is supposed to be open to everyone.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, first of all, no, I think it's really amazing. It was so it's not that easy, as I said, like for an old people like me to navigate, but it's the same as joining for the first time an in-person COP. At least here I'm not walking kilometers like in COP. So I think more and more this can become a tool more used also by the official, the UNFCCC process, the, um, the the metaverse COP. Also because COPs are becoming, as we know, bigger and bigger, and it could be very helpful to have also virtual tools to join different conversations. And as I said, for example, because I've always been very much fascinated, also beside interested by the action agenda. because it involves really a big part of the non-state actors and stakeholders, and it's so difficult to keep up with the different sectors and informations, and yet it's very concrete because it deals with on the ground initiatives. So one thing is negotiation rooms and side events, and one other thing is the action agenda, trying really to keep track of what is happening on the ground in different sectors. So having a space, I know it's very difficult, and there are lots of initiatives listed under every pillar of the action agenda, but I think it could be very beneficial to have a space on the initiatives. So I don't know if the NASCA portal, you are linked to the NASCA portal or familiar with the NASCA portal, which is supposed to be the web portal from the UNFCCC tracking the advancement of the action agenda. I think that could be. I know you are covering already a lot. So I don't know exactly. I don't have a very specific, but really congratulations again, because also looking at the program and how it was. I'm really sorry because I am traveling and so I'm having the event today and tomorrow, so didn't really have the time to fully focus on familiarize with the. Mm.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Is Miss Clove is close. Open microphone, please. Okay.
Hi, can you hear me? All right, so my name is Maurice Mburu. My artistic name is Halisi Mondre. I'm a climate artist and culture, and I live in Rwanda, but I'm Kenyan, and I like, using art to talk about social justice and climate issues. So today, I'll be performing one song, and then I'll brief you about it. So, or maybe I can do two. Yeah, so the first one is called Oge. If you go to my official name is Halisi Mondre. If you go to Spotify, if you go to YouTube, most likely YouTube, Halisi Mondre, you'll find this video. It's about what are those, it's not even about saying climate change is a problem, but what are the solutions that are there? And the solutions that for me I find good is we have neglected our culture, we have neglected our sustainability practices that enabled us to live in harmony with nature. In my culture, we used to pray under trees. We never used to pollute the rivers because that the rivers symbolized life. And so that's what made me write this song, just to remind people that there are those practices in our culture that we need to embrace as we embrace all other solutions. So song goes like this. Mogene mutare neke twariganĩirwo nĩ witũ ũndũire rũĩ rũcoke mũkaro msahau mila ni mtumwa ndo maana magonjwa when you forget your car. Oge, dera mother, oge, dera mother, oge. Climate is changing, cause we have been cutting trees. Ancient times we were praying under trees. We needed no education. Loving earth was our dedication. That's how we knew herbs heal. That's how we knew which herbs to eat. So that's okay. And then there is another one that I perform. It's called Green Wall. It's about rallying all the artists together and telling artists that we can address this issue. We can be at the forefront of war. We can be able to, fight. Nobody can tell me if I try, I'll fail. Oh yeah. Our bodies are hurting, they're all up in flames. Oh yeah. Temperatures are rising, places getting heat waves. Yeah. We can win, we can win this war. What we are in is a green war. We can win, we can win this war. What we are in is a green war. Yeah, yeah, that's green war. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure joining you. Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. You want me to sing again?
Yeah.
No problem. I'm thinking of another song, but okay, let me repeat Green Wall. Nobody can tell me if I try, I'll fail. Oh yeah. Our bodies are hurting, they're all up in flames. Oh yeah. Temperatures are rising, places getting heat waves. We can win, we can win this war. What we're in is a green war. We can win, we can win this war. What we're in is a green war. Yeah. Yeah. It's green war. It's called Okay. I'm gonna send the link. Definitely, and I'm also proud of the work that you have done. You know, this platform.
Thank you. Thank you again for the invitation, and sorry because I now have to go to the meeting with the Vice Minister. Thank you. A lot. Thank you and congratulations to Morai for the song. Really. Thank you. Bye.